Sports Video Group is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia for our Sports Venue Production Summit. Brandon Costa reporting for SVG. Have the distinct pleasure to be joined by a good friend of Sports Video Group, Don Sperling from the New York Giants. Don, always a pleasure. Good to see you.
You too, Brandon.
So, your first chance to get to be in this building, what are your impressions? Halo board, the whole works. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a real good preview because we're here next year. We're playing here. We don't know the date yet. That'll be released a little later on. But no, I'm really impressed. It's clean. There's really nice lines. They got the chance to really brand it. When you have your own stadium, unlike ours, you can brand it with your own colors and the black and the red and everything here. They have state of the art. I mean, every time they build a new stadium, right, it's always better than the next.
Now, you were on a panel at the show here today with the University of Alabama, the Eagles, Game Changer MVP, talking about making the most out of content when your team makes either a really special run. Obviously the Eagles had a lot to talk about with their Super Bowl championship. You had the 10th anniversary of the Super Bowl where you guys beat the undefeated Patriots. What were some of your takeaways or advice for the crowd for really capitalizing on these maybe once-in-a-generation moments that your franchise has experienced?
Right. When you're given that opportunity, okay, obviously you have to make a lot of it. You have to be proactive, but we talked about it at one point, you have to be reactive too. Things will come up during the course of the season that you have to grasp. I mean, you really have to wrap your hands around it and grasp. The Eagles had a great, example of that with the dog masks. I mean, we obviously had the David Tyree, helmet catch, and there are these watershed and milestones that happen during the course of a run or the course of an anniversary or the course of a current run that make unbelievable content that your fans wrap around, that your sponsors wrap around, and the entire organization does.
Now, I remember talking to the guys over at the Carolina Panthers shortly after Super Bowl 50. They were getting a lot of praise, rightfully so, for all of their social media work and everything, and one of them very candidly was just like, well, it kind of helped that we won. That always helps. The team in the field struggled a little bit this year, so on the flip side, how much harder is your job then, and how much more talented do you need to be in that position?
Well, yeah, you can't rely on your record, obviously. Right. We were lucky that the 10-year anniversary came in the year that we didn't, because it was a great distraction. But we brought up another point, that access and presenting the players and the organization in a more of an inside, behind-the-scenes way really helps, in the sense that you're not just putting up highlights and things that you're going to get criticized for, but you're putting up access. You're putting up players in the community. You're showing what they're doing off the field. You're having them, showing them behind the scenes in the locker room and showing the personalities. There's where you really have to make a difference when your team isn't winning.
All right. Next thing, you're working on the draft at this point?
We're working on right now. Well, free agency, of course, but the draft is always big. We have a live show on MSG, 90 minutes, and we obviously all night long are on, because we picked second in the draft, which is big. I mean, you want to know the last time we picked second in the draft? Who we took? 1981, Lawrence Taylor. Wow. So hopefully we'll do something like that. But
no pressure, Saquon Barkley.
No, exactly. But anyway, so yeah, no, we're really excited. The fans are excited. It's a rebrand and a rebuild.
All right, Don, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much for being here, and great seeing you as always.
Thanks for having me.
All right, for more coverage of our Sports Venue Production Summit, you can visit us online at sportsvideo.org.